these ideas, okay? From there, we go to more abstract things like time. So all of our words talking about time on Monday until next week, from 3 until 4, all of those prepositions, if you want to understand them, you've got to think about this first. Why? How is often somewhere in the middle here. So, if we talk about, for example, on Monday, why is it on Monday but in April? On Monday in April. Think of a calendar. All right. This is Monday. Okay. April is everything inside this line. If it's out here, it's not April. Right? So we have an easy way to define what is in and what is out. A lot of our prepositions come in pairs. So we don't talk about out of April because, well, if you're outside of April, then either you're in May or you're in March or some other month. It doesn't help us to say out of April. That could be any one of 11 other months. So it doesn't help us, so here we only use in. In April, in March, in May, we use in, right? But what about on Monday? If you think of a calendar as a piece of paper where you have all of the days, you can put your finger on a date, on that day, right? We don't think of this as the day as a square, with there's in Monday and out of, we don't think of it that way. We think of this as the border. There's in April, on Monday. Okay? And if you can think about it that way, and it makes sense, right? Then you can remember it because it makes sense. Right? Then you'll always forget. So, on Monday in April, what about time? Yeah, as in like at 3 o'clock. Why at? Think of time as a question of where. Where can be where are you or where are you going? 有可能是地方，有可能是 destination. How do you say that? 你要去到哪里? Alright? So, if I talk about at, if I'm moving and I stop at the door, right? The only reason I can be at the door is because I was moving and this is where I stop. So we see time as going past and we stop at that point. Okay? So time is moving, and at this time, at this point, we stop. Okay? When it comes to until and before, well, before and after, they're really just this. part of the boat? What do we call this part of the boat? Okay. When we talk about places, a boat is a convenient way to talk about what's in front of you and what's behind you. So, before, after. Okay? We get these ideas, again, as we're moving along, and then what's before me, I haven't gotten there yet, right? Boats can only move in this direction, right? If it's a person, you can move forward, you can move backwards, you can go side to side, right? But a boat can't do all of that. A boat goes forward. So, if it's before you, it hasn't happened to you yet. If it's after you, then you've already been there, right? And it's for the next person behind you. So when we talk about time, before 3 o'clock, that means 3 o'clock hasn't happened yet. After 1 o'clock, it means 1 o'clock is behind you, right? So all of these have an idea that we can understand if we can draw them out so we can see and touch. We can think about time as when, more as where. Okay? Now, there are a lot of other examples, but can you guys tell me any that are a problem for you? Which prepositions do you have trouble with? 你觉得哪一个介系词真的有很麻烦、很难用的？ Think about how some of them are different in English and Chinese. In Chinese, you can get on a bus, right? 上车. You can get on a car. 上车. But in English, what does it mean if you get on a car? Right? Because for us, a car is enclosed. You don't get on it because this is what it would mean. You get in a car. The whole point behind the car is that there's stuff around you, right? Otherwise, it's a scooter, right? So we get in a car, not on. But why do we get on a bus? Because a lot of buses at the time had 2 levels, right? You can get on it. All right, you can think of it that way. Or you can think of it this way. The bus is higher up, right? You have to get up to get onto the bus, right? Same thing as an airplane. You get onto the airplane is you have to go up, okay? You get on a boat. This one is easier because usually you're not inside, okay? You get on a ship. You can be inside the ship, but first you have to get on it, okay? So there's a reason again for all of these. It doesn't mean that every one of them is easy to understand, but you can think about it in a way that's